share my screen and start the session. Okay, yesterday we saw how to create a journal and what are the components that we saw: journal batch, and then journal header level details, and then journal line level details. At the header batch level, we enter the batch information, control totals. If at all we want to enter a control for the entire batch, then you can put a control total over there. Then you have audit log where you can see all the information related to approval person who has taken any action on that particular journal. Then below at the journal line level, sorry, journal header level, you have the journal header information. So each journal has a header and a line. Okay, so header information is basically, currency specific to the journal, then the date in which the journal is going to be posted. All those information are there, which you have to select based on, the period in which you are entering the journal. And then the subsequent other informations, there is also a control total that you can do at the journal header level also, which will be applicable for all the totals at the journal line level. Then at the journal line level, basically we enter the debit and credit information, the debit account combination, the credit account combination, the debit amounts, credit amounts, the descriptions, any other additional fields that you would like to enter, okay, with respect to the ones that are available. Okay, so these are the things that you perform from a journal entry perspective. Okay, then we saw, how to retrieve the journals once you have posted. Okay, once you have created the journal, saved it, okay, set the status as complete, and also then posted the journal. Okay, so after the journal was posted, you went into the manage journals page to search the journal to see if the posting process is complete or not. So system performs a validation, Oracle General Ledger, it performs a validation, pre-validation before, it runs the posting, final posting. Okay, so in the validation, if any failure occurs, then the posting will not be completed and it will error out, and you will get the error message. Okay, so there are multiple things that you can, there are multiple ways in which, the validation can fail. Period is not open for, let's say, any journal that is coming from subledgers. For that, the general accounting period is not open, let's say. Then in that case, it will not be able to post the journal in GL, but it will throw an error saying, it has failed because the period in GL is not open. Okay, or any other reason, if a combination is invalid or anything like that. Anyways, combination if invalid, you will never be able to select it. That is first and foremost thing. Okay, so any other reason, let's say the currency exchange rate is not available in case of a foreign currency journal, okay, for a particular day, then in that case it will throw an error saying that the currency conversion rate is not available, like that. So many other things are there which can cause, there are many things which can cause the error, and you will be able to diagnose it by looking at the error message that you will see at the journal level. Okay, so before going to the specifics again of the journals or managed journals, I will first open the current period. Okay, so from general accounting, period closure tab, I'll click on that. Okay, so this is the dashboard for period close. I mean, period close activities and period opening activities as well. Okay, so if you look at this dashboard, this is the close status for general ledger application. The period, that is the 23rd February 2023 period for general ledger application is not open, while for payables and receivables it is open. Okay, so these are the statuses that you can see with respect to the accounting period Feb 23 for this ledger. Okay, ABC Corp primary ledger. Okay, so now if you want to open it, so you simply click on this. or you can go through task as well. Okay, so two ways you can do it. From the period close dashboard you can go, or from the task list you can go. Now you have entered this area where related to the periods, select the period which you want to open. So if it is Jan 23, since Jan 23 is showing here, you can click on Jan 23 and then say open period. But let's say if you want to directly open a future period, okay, February, okay, which is not displayed over here, and now you want to open the February period, then you will have the option to open it from actions, open target period. Okay, now one thing to remember is in such cases where you open future periods, what will happen is all the periods that are within that. Let's say, for example, I now want to open March 23rd, March 2023. Okay, but Jan is not opened, Feb is not opened. Okay, and then you directly go on to open the March period. Then what will happen is it will actually open all the periods. It will open Jan, it will open February, and also it will open March. It will actually open all the periods which are not opened within the target up to the target period. Okay, that is how system functions. Okay, so I'll show you what will happen in this case. Now you don't see January period. Why? Sorry, I mean to say you don't see February period, because the period list will display only those period up to the future, up to next one future period. Why? Because that was in the specify ledger options, you had said that one future period should be available, right? So that is where you can see current period as per this general ledger application is this adjustment period, the latest open period. And the next future, one future period is Jan 23. That is why it is being displayed. Okay, and then you're not able to see February or March. Okay, so
Chandu, your voice is cracking in between.
okay, is it audible now?
It's audible, but sometimes it is getting dropped, and sometimes it is picking up immediately. So
Okay, possible network slowness might be there. Okay, all right. So in this case, if I say I want to open what, let me go back again. I want to open, let's say, March 23, okay, period. So we will see what will happen to Jan and what will happen to February, because we are not taking any action on Jan and Feb. Okay, and if we just directly open March, I'll say open target period, and I'll say March 23. Okay, and I click on open. What is it? What is the warning message it is displaying? This action will open periods up to the target period. Okay, including earlier periods that were previously not ever opened. Okay, all the periods which were never opened, okay, and which fall up to the target period, okay, will get opened. So do you want to continue? I'll say yes. So it will open Jan 23, it will open February 23, and it will open March 23. And then it will show one more period, which is April 23. Why? But it will not be opened. April 23 will not be opened, but it will be showing in the list in here. Why? Because that is a future enterable period as per our setup. Okay, in the setup of specify ledger option, we had said future period should be one future enterable period. So that is where it is. It will show you up till April 2023, but the periods open will be up till March, and April 23 will be the future enterable period. Okay. So now Jan is open. Let's scroll up and see what are the other periods which are open. See here, April 23 is the future enterable period, and up all the periods up till March 23 got opened, which were never opened. Jan was never opened, Feb was never opened. Okay. All right.
Chandu, but in normal practices, we'll open the next period only, the working month period only,
Yes,
right?
working month period only we open, but it is possible sometimes. So this is just a functionality which is available from from a data migration point of view. Okay, whenever you migrate from previous system to Oracle. Okay, at that point of time, we need to open the historical periods, right? So it is not feasible that you would sit and open one by one all the periods. So generally, what they do is they open a target period, which will open the all the remaining periods as well, and then you would close, do a mass close. Okay, you would do a mass close of the periods which are not required, and only the ones that are required you would start with the data migration.
I'm having a small query over here. See,
Mhm.
if any customer or any client is trying to migrate or do a fusion implementation, if he is having the e-business suite, so
Mhm.
in that case, e-business suite architecture is completely different than this.
Yeah,
So,
more or less, yes.
but here, the data mapping and what about the opening balances and how we have to just upgrade to the client, how we have to confirm with the client that okay, these are the transactions are needed and what are those are needed to be migrated, or how we can
Okay,
what
so
we
see
can
that
take it up.
that is all part of the data migration strategy.
Mhm.
Okay, so maybe towards the end of our training, I'll take up one session where I'll just explain you what is the data migration strategy that is followed with respect to the financial applications. Okay, so I can take up a small session for that and towards the end. Okay,
Okay, yeah.
yeah. Okay, so now how to mass close the periods. So let's say you want to close all the other periods which you see as open. So these are all the open periods. The symbol green and the pencil stands for open period. Okay, let's say you want to open periods from December till from July, June, May till December 22. Okay, so what you will do is you will mass select it. How you will mass select it? Simply keep your cursor over here at the row start and then drag it. Okay, double click and drag it, just like we do in case of Excel cell selection. Okay, by mouse click. So the same way you will do the drag, and this all these periods will get selected, and then you will say close period. So that is how you do a mass closure. Okay. Okay, this is why, because there is a control checkbox that we have set, we have opened. Okay, what does it say? The prevent general ledger period closure when open subledger period exists. Ledger option is enabled for the ledger ABC Corp primary ledger. So in the specify ledger options, if you remember, we had enabled one checkbox called prevent GL period closure when subledger period open period exists. Okay, so that is why based on that particular control, this is not allowing you to close the GL period. Why? Because receivable, see, it is highlighting because the accounting period isn't closed for subledger receivables. November 22 is not closed for receivables. December 22 is not closed for payables and receivables both. That is why it is not allowing us to close the GL period. But yeah, this is how you would do it. Let's say, everything is in order. All the periods in the subledger has been closed. And then, all the periods which are in GL, the mass periods you want to close, you can click at the end of the row and drag it down up to all the periods which you want to close. And then you simply click on close. That will do a mass closure. Okay. Right. So now let me go back to the journal ledger page. So again, I'll go to navigator. I'll go to general accounting. There are some components related to the journal search page that I would explain now so that you can, understand what are the things that you can play around in the manage journals. So manage journals is the page where you can view all the journals or even take action depending upon the access that you have. Okay, there is, if let's say, for example, some employees, okay, management level employees or other department level employees are just supposed to view the journals, okay, and they should not have any rights to edit it. Then in that case, custom rules will have to be created, which gives access only to the inquiry part, okay, not to the editing part. So But let's say if a person has all the accesses, just like in our case, general accounting and general accounting manager will have all the access to update, because that role provides all the access to update or edit or make changes depending up for those journals which are not posted. Okay, so let us see how we can play around with this journal search page. So these are the default search criteria that you see. Okay, and the view is called the basic view. Okay, no, sorry, this is not the basic view. The earlier one, let me show you. Yeah, this is the basic view. Okay, where you have four search criterias. Okay, but let's say if you want more, uh, you know, criteria, search criteria, you need, okay, to add to the list, then in that case, you will have to switch to advanced mode. When you go to advanced mode, there are certain few more fields which are added as a standard, page. Okay, but let's say if there is a certain criteria which you want to additionally search based on, and based on which you would want to do an additional search. So how do you find all the additional fields which you can add to this list? Okay, so if you go to this below, something called add fields are available. So if I click on add fields, you will see all the additional fields which are available, based on which you can do the search, based on accounting date, based on accounting period. Okay, anyways, accounting period, I believe, is already there. Okay, it is a mandatory one. Additional fields like, let's say, approval date, approval status, or balance type, batch description, batch status, category, completion status. So these are all the additional fields that you can add to the list, and you can search by it. Let's say I want to search a journal based on a posting date. Okay, so I will add this criteria. So I will just select this field. Okay, so it will get added to this search list, and I will provide the additional detail over here. So let me say, I'll have to provide the star asterisk marked field. Okay, at least one of them. This two asterisk stands for what? At least one is required. Okay, so any one of them at least is required. Okay, so let's say I am aware of the accounting period in which it was. Let's say it is the 13 December 22 was the period. And let me say the posting date. When was the posting date? Let me say before today's date. Or you can say go to December 2022 or Jan, let's say. And I'll click on OK. Okay, and then I'll search. So based on these two search criteria, what it will meet, and it will try to find the details. So in this case, yesterday was our posting date, which was February, right? That is why it is not picking up the data. Okay, so if I now give February, today's date, let's say. So before today, whatever date it was posted, okay, it will based on that. Let's search it out. So now it has fetched up the records. Okay, so these are the ones which have been fetched up. Okay. Just one moment. Okay, so this is how you can play around with the manage journal search criteria page. Okay, manage journal search page, where you can add fields depending upon what are the fields you want. So these fields are basically available on the journal creation page. Okay, only those are the fields which are coming up. So if there is any additional field by which you want to search, you can add it to the list, And then definitely one of the mandatory ones you will have to provide. And then additionally, you can provide the search criteria and search it out. Now, let's say this is something that you would generally require it every time, or based on this, you do the search every time. Okay, so you want to add it as favorites. This search criteria is something you want to add it as favorite so that you don't have to go every time to this option, select the field, and come back. Okay, so just to avoid that, there is one option where you can save this as a template. Okay, this search criteria is a template. So how can you do that? Once you have selected all the search criterias, I'll say click on save. Okay, I need to give the name. Okay, I will give the name as test search template, let's say. Okay, there are two options. I can run it as a default, or I can run it as a automatic, or I can just keep both these as disabled, and I'll click on OK. Then what I will do, under this, I will find my search template, test search template. So this will get open. So let me just go back and come again to manage journal page. So manage journal, here it is giving the standard one, the standard Oracle, fields which come up as part of the search. And I want to search my template based on my template. So I will go to this saved search. I will select my template of all the search criteria. So automatically this gets added. Okay, based on the template. So this is how you can use the save option here to, create or, to have your own search criteria created as a saved search. Okay. All right. So this was about the manage journals page. Okay. Now let us create a journal, go back to the journal entry creation part. Yesterday, we saw creation of a simple journal based on what? Based on a simple, debit credit line based on one currency. Okay. So now there was another case where, if you remember at the specify ledger options, you saw there was an option called restrict journals to a single currency. Okay. What was that? That means restrict the journals to be created in a single currency such that user should not be able to create multiple currency journals in a same journal. Okay, so that means multiple currency journals, multiple currency lines within a same journal is possible. Okay, that is why otherwise, they need not give the restriction separately or the control separately. Okay, so that means, so we will see how to create a journal with multiple currency in the same journal. Okay, one journal itself can hold multiple currencies. Okay, so how can we do that? Let us see. I'm just mentioning the batch name as the same. Okay, multi-currency journal. I would just say test. Okay, right now, see what is the accounting period that you can see, March 23. Why? Because that is the latest open period as per the general ledger application for ABC Corp primary ledger. Okay, now let's say if I want to enter it in the February month. Okay, so February month is also open, so it will allow me if I select the February 23 month. Okay, now you are creating a journal in a prior period. As per the system records, what is the current open period? March is the current open period, and we are trying to enter the journal entry in February 23. That is why this is giving a warning. So from where, can anyone tell me from where this warning is coming up? If you have noticed something somewhere while we were doing the setups, there was something called, which we enabled. Based on that, this warning is popping up. Okay, at the specify ledger option level, there was a checkbox, okay, called display, something called display warning if you enter it in the prior period. Based on that checkbox, this warning is coming because we have enabled it. And why have we enabled it? Because business wants that their users should get this notification so that they are aware that they are entering the journals in a prior period. It is possible. Okay. Sorry. Let's say, for example, every period end, what happens is uh, the period is not immediately closed in a business, right? Let's say if it is February month, okay, or let's say Jan is the month that was the previous month. Okay, on 31st of January itself, no business would close the Jan period. They actually close it, in the February month, first week or something, or somewhere, up to 10th of the next month, they close the period. So it is possible that up till that time, when the period is still open, the previous period is still open, business users, which is the accounts department people who are entering, who are responsible to enter the accounting information, they might make a error. Okay, they might, there can be a manual error of recording the journal incorrectly in the previous period. So that is where they need, business wants that they should get a notification whenever such case happens, that they are entering it in a prior period and not the current open period. That is why that checkbox can be enabled at the specify ledger option level, and when it is done, and by mistake user, by for any reason, okay, user selects the accounting period as the previous period, which is not equal to the current open period for GL, then it will show a warning. Okay. Okay. Now, manual not required. All these things are the statuses which are there. Okay. And then all these things are fine. Now, accounting date. Accounting date has been selected as the current date. Okay, because it is 10th, but this instance is based on the US timings. Okay, or it is in the US time zone that this instance is. That is where it is picking up the 2923 as the date. Okay, otherwise it would have been 2/10/2023. Okay, based on the period that we selected and the system date, it will match up the system date and the current period if we select the periods as same, and it will display the accounting date. Then category, let us select the category as others. Okay, now if we want to create multiple currency journal, in that case, at the header level, you will not restrict the currency. Okay, so what you will do is you will delete this and keep the currency at the journal header level as blank. Okay, so that will switch the mode to multi-currency journal. When you delete the currency and keep it blank, it will switch the journal to multi-currency mode. Okay, and then at the line level, you will be able to create multiple currency lines. Okay, so that is where you see here. Now at the line level, the currency field is enabled. Okay, that is where it will allow you to select the multiple currency at the journal line level. Now, this is what can be restricted so that business users don't go for this. Business doesn't want that you accounting should happen, multi-currency accounting, multi-currency journal gets posted. Business doesn't want that. Each journal they want that it should have, or it should have a unique currency. Okay, then in that case, you will have to enable the option at the specify ledger options. Let me open it. I'm going to setup and maintenance to show you the setup. I'll go to financials and I'll say specify ledger options. Okay, so here, this one. Sorry, limit a journal to a single currency. This checkbox will have to be enabled if business wants that the journal should be limited to a single currency and one journal should not have multiple currency. Okay. I'm not enabling it currently. I just want to show you how the multi-currency thing can work. Okay, but I'm just relating to the setup part when we are doing this scenario. Okay, let me enter the account combination of debit and credit. I'll select the company. I'll select the account. Okay, let me select salary wages only. Okay, and then I'll search because this combination might already be available. So this is the combination which is already available. With respect to that, I don't want to key in one by one. Okay, all the combination again. So this is the one that I want as the combination. I have selected it. Okay, I'll enter the debit amount. Debit amount. Why? Because this is an expense. Okay, now I'll enter the credit amount. Let's say I'm paying off the expense using the cash. Okay, so the next line would be what? The cash entry line. Account, I'll select cash clearing, let's say. And then all the others, if you want a specific value to be there and you don't find it, then you will have to enter it again. Okay, let's say I'm searching it. Okay, so this is the combination available, but I want that there should be a cost center value for corporate, and that combination is not available. So then I'll have to again click on show segments, and I'll have to enter the cost center and the remaining values as well, because that combination is not available. So I'll have to create it. Since dynamic insert, okay, at the chart of account structure instance level, dynamic insert is enabled. So as I select all these values for the first time and I click on OK, system will automatically generate that combination. Okay. So you saw, right? There is no combination like this available. 100, 1001, so 4 times 0 is not available. Only one combination is there where the cost center is 000, line of business is 0, and the account has a value, and intercompany and future is also 0. So there is no other combination. So right this time I will select it. And because my dynamic insert at the chart of account structure level is enabled, as soon as I click on OK, this combination will get created. Okay, next time I don't have to create this again. Okay, so I have entered the combination. Okay, and then now if you again go to this and try to see if that combination is available, I'll click on search. See here, that combination is available. Let me do one thing. Let me remove this cost center from here. Okay, I'm just going to directly search the combination based on these two values. And I say click on search. See now two combinations are available. So this is the new combination that got created automatically based on our earlier action that we took. We gave all the segment values and we clicked on OK. So it automatically generated this combination. Okay. So this is how the dynamic insert works. Okay. Now the credit line also, I'll have to provide it as 2000. Okay. Now for the debit and the credit line, it is what? USD currency. Now let's say there is another line, okay, that I'm entering. Now I'll enter two more lines. Let's say I want to have another row which will have foreign currency as the line currency. Okay, so for row number 3, let's say I'm recording the journal for some expense. Okay, I'll select ABC Corp and some other expense. Okay, so let me select corporate as the cost center value. Line of business will be 0, and account, let's say repairs and maintenance, the expense repairs and maintenance. Okay, I'll provide the intercompany value because this combination might not be available. Okay, that is where I'm entering all the values, and then I'll click on search. Let's see if a combination is already available. Yeah, this combination is already available. Okay, so I can select it. Okay, this time the currency will be different. I want this to be recorded as a euro currency journal. So I have selected the euro currency here. Okay, and then I'm entering the entered amount as debit value 1,000 euros because this is a expense. Okay, and you see one more thing has opened up. Conversion field has opened up. Conversion date you will have to provide, and you will have to provide the exchange rate type. So if you want the system defined exchange rate, that means the rates that we have loaded, if you want that, okay, then you will have to select a conversion rate type which is other than user. Okay, user rate type is selected always when you want to manually input the exchange rate. Okay, what is the exchange rate? To convert the euro to US dollar. So in this case, US dollar is our ledger currency or our accounting currency. Okay, and the currency that you are entering at the journal level is what? Euro. So that means from euro to USD, there should be a conversion that needs to happen for which a exchange rate is required. Okay, now there are two ways you can do it. If you provide the rate type as user, you can manually input it. But if you don't want, okay, if the business doesn't want a user rate to be selected, or the accountant doesn't want a user rate to be selected, rather he wants that whatever is loaded in the system for this particular date, okay, that should be taken up by the system. Then in that case, he will have to select the appropriate rate type. Okay, let's say corporate is the rate type there where they are uploading the exchange rates. Okay, then in that case, you can select corporate rate type. Okay, this one. Okay, so corporate rate type is selected. And I suspect for this particular date, the rate type is not available. And that is where it is showing as blank. Let me see for some other rate type. Let me select corporate only for time being. Okay, then we will see upon saving what it will say, what it will throw. Okay, it should throw an error. See, you must, a value is required for this rate type. Okay, so right now it is not fetching up. The reason is there is no rate type defined. Let us see in the setup if a rate type is available. Okay, so what is the setup? Under setup and maintenance, you had something called manage daily rates, right? Okay, in this you will see if for a corporate rate type, the rates are available or not. Okay, so under daily rate, I will go to currency and I will say euro to USD, and I'll give today's date. As per the system, it is 9/23. Okay, and the rate type I will provide as corporate. Let's see if an exchange rate is available. Nothing is available. Okay, that is why it did not pick up. Okay, let's say if the rate was available, then automatically system would have derived the exchange rate over here. Okay, when we selected, as soon as we selected the rate type as corporate. Okay, so for time being, let me select user as the rate type. Okay, and we will enter the rate manually. Okay, because the exchange rates in the corporate is not available. Okay, and I will say euro to USD, what is the 1.07 is the exchange rate. Okay, so let me enter that 1.07. Okay, so debit line for euro currency is entered. Now I'll enter for credit line because the journal needs to be balanced by currency also, right? So that is where we are entering the credit line. Okay, and let me select the account as the Cash International because the combination is already available. Okay, I have searched the combination and I'll select it. And again, currency I'll have to change euro. Okay, and credit line, what was the amount? Euro currency, the debit was 1,000. So for credit also, it needs to be 1,000. And currency also I will provide as 1.07. Otherwise, it will do what? It will create an unbalanced journal. Okay, an unbalanced journal cannot be posted. So if the accounted debit and the accounted credit is not balanced, okay, that means it is not same, then you will not be able to post it. Okay. In the absence of any suspense enabled. Okay, if the suspense accounting is enabled, then system will automatically take up the suspense account to post it. Okay, so what we were discussing on was the multi-currency journal. So you can see here now we were able to provide the multi-currency at the journal line level, USD currency also and euro currency also we were able to provide. And now we will save, complete, and post. Okay. Let's quickly check if the posting is completed or not. So again, where I will go, I'll go to manage journals. Okay, this time let me search by the journal batch name. Okay, what was the batch name? I had entered it as multi, and then I'll say percentage. Why? Because I don't know the remaining part. So in such cases, you can enter the percentage as the search key. Okay, and then I'll search. So it is not in the March. So accounting period is March, but it was not in the accounting in the March period. Rather, it was in what? February period, right? So let me select the period as Feb and I'll do a search. Let me try and remove this and search directly in the February accounting period. Yeah, it was MUTI. That is how it was done. So it did not pick up. Okay. Search criteria I was entering as MULTI. Okay, so this has been posted. Okay, without any issues, it has been posted. So this is how you enter a multi-currency journal. Okay. I hope you have understood. If you have any quick questions, ask, or else we'll wrap up for today and you can practice on these aspects. And tomorrow we can catch up. Yeah.
Okay, we can edit journal vouchers, right? Like suppose if we pass today date, for example, 9th date we passed on general entries, that multi-currency. So evening I come to know that that currency is wrong. So tomorrow morning I can change it, right?
If you have not posted it.
I mean that save and post both I have done.
Then you can't do that. You will have to reverse the journal entry.
Okay, reverse. Otherwise, we have to wait for that adjustment entry is there. No, in that we can do it.
What adjustment entry?
The 13th period adjustment period is there. No.
Yes, see, 13 period adjustment period is a normal period only. Okay, it is not something like you can only perform adjustment only. You can pass any journal entry in the adjusting period. Why the adjusting period is created? Because business wants during the period close process, okay, generally at the end of the year or something, they don't want to mix up the adjustments in the in the routine period, okay, routine calendar period. They don't want to mix up. That is why they use towards the end of the year in the adjusting period, they use it. Okay, it is not like, you can any adjustments that you want to make in a specific period, you cannot do that, and you have to do it in the adjusting period only. There is nothing like that. Okay, it is not a, yeah. So adjustments is basically the period is specifically created for year end or processes as part of the year end or quarter end processes. They don't want to impact any existing periods or the normal routine periods in the system, but to show it separately in a adjusting period, they use that. Okay, but otherwise, if you want to edit, okay, any, or you may want to correct your mistake in a particular period, then simply you can reverse it if you have already posted it. Okay, but if it is just saved and just the status is set as complete, then you have an option to make the status as incomplete and then make the updates and then post it. Okay, once the journal is posted, you can never edit it. You'll never be able to edit it. You will only have an option to reverse it.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, that reversal part we will see maybe tomorrow, okay, when we go to that particular topic.
Okay.
Okay, all right, guys, you can drop off. If you have any questions more, we can discuss tomorrow. Okay, I need to quickly start my second batch. Okay, that's it for today, guys. Thank you and have a good day.
Thank you.
Thanks.